Hello, hope y'all are all doing great. It's March 30th, and today I'm going to be talking about a potentially significant severe weather outbreak. Okay, so looks like we're likely going to have a severe weather outbreak tomorrow, maybe a tornado outbreak. We're going to be talking about that. So I hope y'all are all doing very well. It's Thursday, and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, this video is just going to be focusing on tomorrow. Okay, that's the main focus of today's video. So this is our day 2 convective outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. Okay, we can see we have two moderate risks. We have one located up in eastern Iowa and northwestern Illinois, then further south, pretty much straight south in northeastern Arkansas, southeastern Missouri, western Tennessee, northwestern Mississippi, and even a little bit of extreme western Kentucky. We do have a second moderate risk. So we have cities like Memphis, like I think the Quad Cities is what it's called. Jonesboro also is in this. It's like kind of an important place. A lot of stuff always happens in Jonesboro. And then we have a massive enhanced risk pretty much stretching outside of this all the way down into central Mississippi, northwestern Alabama, up into almost even almost the extreme southeastern tip. Actually, no, it doesn't include the extreme southeastern tip of Minnesota. So very large enhanced. Another like even larger slight that goes all the way to Ohio. Uh, so a very large area is also going to be getting affected by this. We can see we have two 15 sig tornado risks. In the middle, we have a 5%. And then we have a 45 sig wind threat up in that northern moderate risk. And a 30 sig hail threat also up in that northern moderate risk. Although the hail threat is only enhanced risk equivalent. So, like, with our tornado and our wind threat, a 15 sig tornado threat is enough for moderate risk. And a 45 sig wind threat's enough for a moderate risk alone, but then the hail threat's only enough for an enhancer. So we don't have a moderate risk really for hail, but the hail threat by far, or nevertheless, will still be an issue. I mean, 30 sig hail is still a big deal, and either way, we're going to be seeing storms with hail. I mean, for sure. And then we're not really going to be talking about day 3 a whole lot. We're not going to talk. I don't really want to talk about Saturday. I'll probably talk about it tomorrow. But we have a marginal risk up in areas of Ohio, PA, and New York, and then a marginal risk straight down across the southeast. Let's go ahead and look at the models. Okay, so we're over on the HRRR. So we're just gonna talk about this. So throughout tonight, we can see we have kind of a lot of showers ongoing. So like this is 060. I think this is about midnight. I know this is about midnight. I don't know what exact time this is, but we can see a lot of showers ongoing throughout this area here. We take a look at instability to see if there's like any areas now. I mean, we're really not going to be looking at much of a severe weather threat with this. This is just kind of probably on the warm front if I had to guess, but like already we do have the shear is already kind of not terrible, but we lack other stuff at this time. Also see we don't have a lot of moisture, so yeah, I don't think we're gonna be seeing like too much of an overnight severe weather event. But 8Z now we're starting to see. I mean, nothing really changing. So storms kind of progressing east. 10Z we're starting to see clearing out across areas of Iowa, northern Missouri, western Illinois, and southwestern Wisconsin. By 12Z, okay, so this is about sunrise. It's 7 a.m. 7 a.m. Central Time. We're starting to see some signs of some storms in some places. Although, like, we do lack a little bit of. We're just starting to see. Like, look at that right there. That is our front. That's like pretty much the entire system. That's our front right there. But clearly see it. That's insane. Even this area here, maybe the far like southern Illinois area could already be seeing some storms. Although I think we will see a little bit of a like a risk of some smaller hail. I think with these storms, especially as you get kind of into this area here in the morning. But I don't think we're going to be looking at really a big hail threat. I don't think it's going to be the case with this. In the morning. Okay, that's going to change. By 14Z, this would be 9 a.m. We are starting to see our first storms of the day going off. Okay, so HRRR indicates it's going off pretty much right after sunrise. We can see once we look to this area, kind of in the central part of the country. Let me move down here. We can see those storms located about right there. Take a sounding. So okay, first of all, I mean just ignore the PDS tour right there. Okay, that's kind of let's just ignore that for now. This is a good sounding. Okay, I mean a fairly good sounding. Okay, so we have shear profiles, everything. Hodo is pretty good, even for some larger hail. Where we would definitely see some big hail from this. Instability, pretty plentiful. We're definitely gonna have a big hail threat with this. I think we'll already have a tornado threat across this area here. I definitely think for our first tornado threat of the day will probably exist throughout this area here, kind of progressing in that direction. By you know 10 a.m. See those storms moving a little bit northeast. Still looking at a pretty good environment. Nothing really has changed. Still pretty big hail threat. I think those storms could be hail producers as well. Although we're gonna have these storms are happening in the morning, so we're gonna face issues with instability. But as that instability kind of grows, and we see a much more like a larger amount of instability for these storms to live off of, we'll definitely see some hail with some of the stronger storms, definitely throughout this area here. But yeah, so I mean, 17-0 seeing those. I want to move back up into the Midwest now because this is when we're gonna start to see everything kind of light up through this area. So let's go to back to the 18-0, and so we can see those storms kind of located about in southeastern Iowa. Okay, now 19-0, we're starting to see everything come together here. I'll actually play this out so you can see it a little bit. So everything gets going at about, when would this be? About 1, this is 1 p.m. Central Time. We're starting to see everything begin across this area here. So sounding, okay. This sounding right here is fairly good. Hodo looks pretty good. Easy. Definitely a tornado threat. Also a large hail threat. That's generally I can see why we have a moderate risk. I can definitely see with that. 19Z we still see those storms moving up into. We'll still see storms kind of progressing, and we're still seeing initiation ongoing at this time, and we're just starting to see it further south as well. And then by 20Z, we start to see even more storms go off throughout many of the areas. I actually want to play the radar right now because I'm probably not going to change it much. I'm mainly trying to take soundings. But yeah, so we see this first stuff right here, and that kind of moves out. And then we see this second part right along the front. This stuff here is going to be the big deal potentially. But yeah, look at this sounding. Look at the hood. This is just like perfect for hail. Perfect for hail here. Definitely going to see some massive hail tomorrow in some places, I think. Also, significant damaging wind threat for sure. Very significant damaging wind threat. And also that tornado threat will exist. The low level shear actually isn't the best, but that's not the case everywhere. Okay, that sounding is extremely contaminated. Let me try to get another one. A little contaminated, but kind of still see the same case there with that shear. Pretty good. So let's go ahead and go to 23Z. See the storms really getting going across northern Illinois still. Some potentially big hailers, and yeah, that's not. Why are all these contaminated? Oh my god. Go move to northeastern Illinois. Okay. Yeah, so here we go. This is kind of a good sample of the environment out in front of these storms. So, I mean, these storms are going to be. This is, well, first off, this is 6 p.m. We're looking at a very good environment, I'd say, for really damaging winds and large hail, and a moderately good environment for tornadoes even into northeastern Illinois, like into that area. Probably 10 sig. This is a 10 sig sounding right here, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, there's not really. Yeah, you're the damaging wind threat with this will be big, but we're also going to be still seeing that hail threat. We can see that's why those storms continue. And then after dark, those storms do weaken as they move into this area here. But that severe weather threat will exist after dark all the way into this area of like Indiana and stuff. Although I think by this time, like especially up in the Michigan, we're going to be mainly seeing it switch into like just a damaging wind event. Hail threat will go down, and so will the tornado threat. As you go further south, though, we can still see it, which we'll get into. We're going to get into that southern area in a second. I want to still focus on this northern area right here. Kind of predict where I think we're going to see the biggest concentration of or where I could think we could see the biggest amount of stuff tornado wise. So I want to go back a little bit here. Where was this? Okay, let me lock it on forecast hour 27. See, we want to take a sounding right here, pretty much right on that triple point. Yeah, I mean this is a very large. This is a pretty good hail sounding right there. Just explosive storms. I mean, these storms are just going to explode in some places. But yeah, I mean, the shear looks fairly good. I mean, I'm also very worried about the wind threat tomorrow. I think the wind threat is going to be very significant throughout areas of eastern Iowa, northern Missouri, northwestern Illinois, and this whole area here. And real quick, let's take a look at another model, okay? I just want to take a look at what some other models have. Maybe some models have differences in low placement and stuff. Although I don't think that's going to be the case at this time because I mean we're pretty close to the actual event occurring now. But there's going to be some small stuff details that are going to change tomorrow. Oh yes, like with the NSSL, we don't see those dues get all the way. We don't see them really that moisture get as far north, but very similar event. We see all those storms go off. Let's take a look at the FE3. It's gonna be funny. What is this? Oh, okay, I don't even understand what is happening. How many waves of supercells is there? Okay. Yeah, the FE, similar environment. Okay, there's a similar environment. It just indicates different stuff, which that's not really important because forecast reflectivity is not the important thing. What kind of dictates that is what our hodograph, like pretty much what our soundings are, kind of dictates the environment for these storms. But now I want to move further south. Okay, so I mean I'm generally thinking, in my opinion, like kind of that area there just honestly stands out to me. I'll go back to the day 2 outlook. Like pretty much, yeah, like right in the, like that part of the moderate risk, this kind of northern northern 2/3 of it, definitely like I really think we're gonna see that thread there. So I fully agree with the SPC there. Now with this southern area, I do think some areas in the middle here could maybe go without even seeing a storm. Okay, those areas are gonna be extremely unlucky, but I think that will happen. But like all the way in the central Illinois, we can see we have that storm threat right there, pretty significant damaging wind threat with that sounding as well. We're gonna see hail, and then further south. Okay, further south, our hail threat does decrease because we see like more mild lapses and that type of stuff. But like with these storms, we still see them explode rather quickly. 20Z here. This would be about 3 p.m. We're still seeing. This is a more classic like southern event sounding here. We're looking at that more curved HOTA than we have further north. So I can see why we have a 15 sig. Although there might be some issues with storm mode in this area, this kind of being a little messy. We don't have a lot of things like limiting how many storms, like what we see storm wise. I mean, there's no capping, which no capping is good, but that could also be kind of be an issue in some cases. And generally the shear is fairly good though. I definitely think if we can get any, I think we're probably going to see some tornado warrant storms kind of embedded in this, maybe some supercells. But then as you go in front though, if maybe we can see a storm that'll probably have the chance of like producing a more long track tornado with these. But yeah, so even as you get up into like this is 8 p.m. here, you can still see we have a line of storms tomorrow. We take a look at like surface-based Cape and hodographs. We're starting to lose some of that instability where we have those storms, but look at these hodographs up in Indiana. Yeah, I mean, even though we're starting to lose some stuff, I mean, some of these, this is overall a bad sounding of no surface-based Cape, pretty practically. So it'd be tricky to see tornadoes out of this. Also, we have a cap. But maybe some of these storms kind of moving into this area could produce a brief spin up even into like areas of Indiana. Wouldn't be surprised. For what is that hodo? Let's see it sounding. Okay, there's like a complete circle. Go southern Tennessee, so we don't get contamination. Yeah, so you can see we still have like relatively good odos in that area. But the issue with the southern area here is we're gonna see more. We're gonna see a much more messy storm mode with this. And also as we go, very quickly as we go after dark, we're going to see that environment become worse just due to capping, issues with instability and that type of stuff. So we'll see the storms weaken slowly as they move east. We can see, I mean, even by like 9Z and stuff, they do make it into this area, but the southeast. I think it's sending right over Carrollton. And I mean, that still indicates kind of a little bit of a tornado threat. That's like a 5% maybe. I mean, maybe even. That's not terrible. But we see we have like a little bit like low instability. We could see still some brief tornadoes out of this. Although at this time, I think what we're going to start to see is just like a threat for smaller hail and some gusty winds. I think we'll probably see a slight risk into this area here, a marginal risk a little bit further, kind of southeast. With this line, then we also will see a very intense like more storms Saturday afternoon once we get more heating. We take a sounding down there real quick. And yeah, we can see, looks like, I mean, with this sounding, very weird. Yeah, that's pretty weird. Dry pocket. But other than that, I mean, that's not a terrible sounding for really just some damaging wind with some of these storms. But yes, that's pretty much all I got for y'all. I just wanted to focus on that. Please be safe tomorrow. I'm gonna try to hopefully get out a live stream tomorrow for a couple hours. Uh, it'll have to be like after 4:15 though because of school. But I'm gonna try to get one of those out. But yeah, thank y'all for watching, and I appreciate it. I hope you all have a very good, I guess weekend and stuff. I'll either post a video tomorrow or I will live stream. I will also leave my Twitter, like a link to my Twitter account, because I'm definitely gonna be posting updates as much as I can tomorrow on this. But yeah, I appreciate y'all watching the video, and goodbye.